I'm Dr. Clare Allen, was a CEO in my 20s and a CEO for 30 years. Now, when I arrived from Wales into Australia, I was really confident, articulate, and felt I could take on the world. But this is what happened. That got me my first CEO job in a rural community. But I kept being told to prove myself, get more qualifications, or I'd never get anywhere. And so what happened is I traded off my identity for more qualifications. One qualification after the next qualification. That's right. I started to fill a wall with credentials, more credentials than you can imagine. And not just little qualifications, but degrees, grad dips, masters, and then a doctorate. So why did I do that? Why did I trade off my confidence, my capabilities, my inner worth for getting more credentials, for overproving myself, for defending my identity and trying to fit into an imposter system? Let's unpack it right now. Why is it we keep trying to prove ourselves by getting more qualifications, by trying to work harder? Basically, what we're doing is we're fitting into a system that literally is telling us to give our heart, mind, body, and soul to work. And I believe that you need to fit your job into your life rather than the opposite. You need to have work-life harmony. I want to tell you what really breaks my heart. When I speak to people and they say to me, Claire, I would love to do your program, but the reality is I want to do an MBA or I want to do a degree first. And I can see that they're literally lacking identity. They've not anchored their identity into the person they need to be able to advance their career and opportunities. But the system has told them, just as it told me, that you need to get more qualifications. And it is a big fat lie. If I had just anchored into that lass that literally came from Wales, super confident, I would have still got to where I got to. And I would have probably got there even faster if I hadn't taken a detour of filling my wall with credentials just to prove myself. So let's now go through the identity anchoring methodology, which has been developed upon psychology, neuro-linguistic programming, metaphysics. Yes, metaphysics, because I have a master's of metaphysics. I really love to tap into that inner work. And we're also going to look at it from 30 years experience as a CEO and a highly credentialed business person around job design and actually shaping talent and leaders. So let's unpack it, because the methodology is very powerful and it literally may save you time and money running after things you don't need. You don't need to do what I did. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now in this moment. So let's talk about the awareness phase, shall we? You may be someone who's already made it, but you feel like something is missing. You feel like there's got to be more to life, but you've got yourself locked into this paradigm, into this life you don't really want. You may be on 7 figures, you may be on 8 figures, 6 figures, but you're still feeling like you need to prove yourself, right? You've got caught in a worth trap. Now, what I do is unpack this with you, and that's where I take you through the identity anchoring worth audit. And we go through this together so that we can understand what personality is holding you back, and we start to unpack what is happening in your life in real time. Because I want you to know that it is you anchoring your identity into the person you know you are capable of being that will actually take you to a massive expansion phase. But you have to do the steps. So this awareness phase is basically saying, I know there's something missing. I know that there's more. I know that I need to do something about my life. I need to change this paradigm, the way that I'm living. I did that when I stepped out of CEO roles after 30 years, right? I stayed, I kept proving myself, but I got locked into that career CEO. And I literally made the brave decision to say, no more. I'm going to step out and do something really profound, something really deep, and I'm going to anchor 1 million identities into leaders that are going to actually make an impact and have legacy upon the world. And so you could do that too. You could make that brave decision. The second stage is we anchor. Once we know who you want to be, once we get into the state of you knowing yourself, then we can literally start to anchor you. And this is the best phase ever, right? Because what I do with my clients is I really break this down so that we can anchor them into the identity that they want to be, not the identity that's been forced upon them, not the identity that they've had to fit into in terms of the system or outdated models of work, but the identity that is truly authentic to them. Now, the third phase is the embodying phase. And in this phase, what we literally do is we start to bring everything together from a neuroscience perspective. Right? Now, I actually get my clients to think about those mindset hacks, to actually change those neural grooves and those patterns that have been holding them back for a long time. And we start to reshape and we start to build this inner confidence, right? Now, I want to share something with you. I have not really bought into this imposter syndrome because, as I said, I was super confident. But what I bought into is a system that told me I had to do a tick box, get all of these things, and then I would get the opportunities. And it literally wasn't those things that opened the door. It was my inner alignment, right? So because I have studied metaphysics for a very long time, I can help you to get into alignment with yourself. And that's the difference between an identity anchoring coach and someone who's going to do more of the same, more qualifications, more skills, more studies. In fact, it's like a default pattern that people go into. But what I do is I actually interrupt those patterns and I actually get you to look at yourself, your whole self, mind, body, and spirit. But I do it in a way that resonates with you because you're a business professional. And so I work with you at that level and I actually build from there and we start to embody this new identity. Now, in this phase, typically what happens is that you start to think differently and you start to step into your presence. You have this inner confidence and you start to feel more grounded and centered. Right? And then this second guessing yourself or wondering if something is missing actually just disappears. But now what happens is you have to integrate it, right? Because you've literally got into those habits over many, many years, just like I did. I got more and more qualifications. I basically won more and more awards and I kept proving myself and I kept getting offered opportunities that were quite flattering. And so I took them, got extra money, did extra things. But reality was it wasn't making me happy. And you have to be happy, right? You have to have joy because success without joy is not success. So we start to integrate this into all aspects of your life. And then I hear people saying to me, my family likes me more. My friends like me more. I like myself more, Claire. I'm not driven by this ambition without meaning. I'm driven with an ambition that is completely aligned to my authentic self. Once we get to that level of integration, we then move to the expansion phase or the rise phase. Now, this happened to me, and so I'm living proof. Opportunities just started to flow in that aligned with me. So instead of it being this systematic ladder of getting to the top, which was really soul destroying and really wasn't giving me joy, I started to align with opportunities that were making my heart sing, and they were coming just to me without me having to put in too much effort. In fact, my presence was showing up in the boardroom. My presence was showing up in meetings before I even did, because my energy was now completely aligned with who I was. I was leading authentically. And that's what I do in terms of the identity anchoring, which is really profound, very deep, and it actually explodes your consciousness and it expands you in real time to actually receive all of the things that you know you are capable of receiving, and also all of the abundance that you deserve to receive. That's right. Now, why am I doing this? It's a very good question. Claire, you've been a CEO for 30 years. Why are you doing this? I've always had a calling. I don't need to do this, right? I do not need to do this. I do this because I really want to help people just like me. I have this compassion for people, particularly leaders that are really struggling, they're lonely, and they lack that level of support. And my heart says, Claire, you can do this, you will do this, because you have the right why, and you have the right motives and the right purpose. And I say to all my leaders, when you anchor into that, it's remarkable what can happen. So this is where, when we start to embrace the identity anchoring phase, it's not like any study you will ever do. It is profoundly deep and meaningful, and it literally cracks something open in you that is so amazing and transformative that it's not woo-woo. It literally is the fuel for the rest of your life. If you undertake the worth audit, you will actually determine which personality is holding you back. It could be the pleaser. Now, the pleaser is someone who wants to make everybody happy. You might have a boss that you want to make happy. You might have a board that you want to make happy. Literally, you're trying to make everybody happy, your team happy, your family happy, you're pleasing everyone, and you forgot about yourself, right? Now, how are you going to fast track your career and your life and step into your identity if you're pleasing everyone? You can't. The second identity holding people back is the performer identity. That's me. That's right. I'm the performer personality. So when people said to me, get more credentials, I jumped higher and higher and higher. When they said to me, Claire, increase the bottom line, I increased the bottom line. When they said to me, Claire, win awards, I won awards. It's ridiculous, but that's the performer personality. It's exhausting, and it disconnects you from who you truly are. And in that moment, when you understand, you can interrupt that pattern and you can change that paradigm for yourself, just like I did. And the third personality that holds people back is literally the perfectionist. Now, this person is up till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, overdoing their work, overperforming. They turn up to the meetings and they have a PowerPoint presentation that is second to none. Every time they're asked to do more, they do more. They literally are a perfectionist, but they take longer than the average person, and it starts to stall their career and opportunities. And then there's the protector. And the protector feels like they have to guard everything they say and everything they do. And that is no way to live. Now, these four personalities kick in for a number of reasons. But firstly, they kick in because you're working in an outdated system. You've been told to work a certain way, and so you've adopted these personalities. But they're literally holding you back in your career. They're leaving those promotions on the table. They're leaving increases in wages on the table. They're impacting on your health and well-being, and they're impacting on your family as well. So, wonderful people, if you'd like the complete guide of identity anchoring and you want to work out what personality is holding you back, click the link in the bio. The fascinating thing is, most people don't even realize they've crossed an invisible line in their career. I didn't. When I kept getting more qualifications, I had no idea that I'd bought into the system. So let me explain it this way. You go to the beach and you're walking along. Oh my God, it's beautiful. The wind is in your hair. You can feel the sand underneath your feet. It's just like starting your new career. Everything is possible, right? You feel like you can take your skills to the market, and it's wonderful. And you walk a bit further and suddenly your feet get a bit stuck. You can feel that you're sinking. But instead of retracing your steps to go back, you go forward. But guess what? The sand is even softer, and you start to go into the quicksand, and before you know it, your feet are stuck. That's the invisible line. You crossed it halfway. When you felt that your feet were starting to get stuck in the bog, you knew, but you kept going. Now you're so stuck you don't know how to get out, right? You're there and you're fighting against the system. You feel exhausted. You feel tired of defending your position all the time. You're really fed up of getting overlooked. Or maybe you're just fed up of the grind. You're earning great money, but you're really not happy. Something feels like it's missing. And that's where I come in. I teach you identity anchoring. I get you out of that bog, out of that quicksand. And guess what? You start to expand, you start to rise with the methodology, and amazing, remarkable things begin to happen. Now, if you've enjoyed this video where I've explained identity anchoring and the personalities that hold you back, then please subscribe to my channel and share more about leadership.